Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Week 5 Hidden Upgrade Dynasty Weekly Update. Not gonna lie, this week kind of winging it quite a bit. So if there's any technical difficulties, we fired a lot of people. So so we're trying to just work through it, and play with what we got. So give us a little leeway on this side of it, because damn, a lot of families have been broken up this week. That's all I'll say. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the weekly update. Appreciate you guys tuning in this week, supporting my favorite NFL team. I'm very biased. I have a very close relationship with Mike McDaniel. So as the owner and commissioner of the Hidden Upgrade Dynasty, there's a lot of pull that I have, and one of the things that I have is some stake in the Miami Dolphins. So I'm going to be repping them today. Little Miami Dolphins coaches get up. So don't hate. No, I don't, because we're a terrible team. So, but anyway, we'll get straight into it. Appreciate everybody tuning in as always. I'm just making sure that everything is straight here, so I apologize. Once again, a lot of people got fired. So apologies for if there's any hiccups this week. And because of that, also just a heads up, no coach's corner. One of the people that we fired this week was the person in charge of scheduling the coach's corner. They reached out to one coach. That coach had some scheduling conflicts, so they didn't even try to reach out to anybody else. So they're gone. Next week we'll be better about getting a coach's corner scheduled, because I know how much you guys love that. So yeah, we're going to not have a coach's corner this week, but we are going to go ahead and get straight into the action. So let's take a look here at last week's games. And we'll start with LSU at Oklahoma State. LSU getting a giant victory, 56-10, just destroying Oklahoma State. Coach Sleeper continues to impress after losing that opening game, or the second game, I believe, of the season against Florida. Bouncing back in a big way, just demolishing opponents now. Speaking of Florida also demolishing people, 62-3 to Utah. Huge victory there for them. Tulane comes out with a very, very close. A lot of people thought it wasn't going to be this close. I mean, we're talking about a top 5 team facing a Southern Mississippi team that's in shambles right now. You wouldn't think it'd be this close, but it was that close. And they end up getting a very close, narrow victory by 6 points, 20-14. Coach Rick Dalton comes out on top. A win is a win. Wisconsin, Coach Eric, unfortunately, was not able to show up for this game, as well as he had a parole hearing that day after harassing some children at a gas station at a 7-Eleven. He unfortunately was not able to make the game because he was appearing in court. So best of luck to him with those proceedings. Hopefully he can bounce back and be in the next game. Then we got Colorado against Kansas State. Their freshman quarterback continues to impress. Shane Falco continues to impress after a rough last half of the season last year. He is coming out and he's swinging. 59-14 against Kansas State. Has his first real opponent, first challenge this season against Coach Suburban Meyer in Virginia Tech. But we'll get more into that a little bit later. Then we got Kentucky. Coach Joey coming out and getting a big victory against his rival in South Carolina, 35-20. Apologies for that one, actually, Joey. I know that Coach Joey sent in a clip. Unfortunately, those clips from Xbox we cannot use on the show. I just found that out. We fired somebody for not knowing that. So apologies to Joey for us not knowing that. For future reference, guys, unfortunately, we cannot use Xbox clips for the clips from games. So make sure you send those in, or make sure if you are streaming to clip it on Twitch and then send it over to me. That is going to be the best way to do that. Speaking of which, let's actually bounce back to the Colorado game, because I have a couple of things I want to share with you guys. A couple clips that were sent in for this game. Shout out to Coach Shane Falco for sending those in. Really do appreciate it. So let's take a look at the first one here. And we have 24-14. Colorado's in a pretty commanding lead already in third quarter, 4th and inches, going for it on their own side of the ball. Let's see how this pans out. Big run outside. Oh my gosh, just breaks out in the middle of the field and just goes all the way to the house. Amazing run there. Amazing run. Not sure what that young man's name is, but huge run for him. Shout out to him for getting that big run there. And then we have another clip here. Again, apologies. We have a lot of stuff going on in the background right now. But now we are in the fourth quarter, minute 40 left. Colorado's clearly pulling away 45 to 14. Let's take a look what happens on this play here. Play action. Drops back. Throws a deep bomb. Oh my, what a catch. What a catch. Wow. And you can hear Shane Falco excited.
Good.
Clearly excited. That was an amazing pass there. Shout out to him for that great pass. And then lastly, we have, again, only 44 seconds left. They're just demolishing them at this point. Kansas State has the ball. Let's see what happens here. 52 to 14. Dropping back. Pass over the middle. Oh, just gets rocked. Gets rocked. That gets picked up and ran all the way back to the house. So shout out to Coach Shane Falco for that amazing game, an amazing victory. Just absolutely demolishing Kansas State. And then the last game, sorry, getting back to this now, UConn, James Madison. UConn gets a victory 17-7. Coach Dusty still trying to bounce back after a couple tough early losses in the season. And he's coming out and getting a victory against James Madison. So congrats to him. And now we're going to get into last game's game of the week, Virginia Tech at Wyoming. Let's take a look here at the breakdown of this game. Obviously, Wyoming wins 24-14. They get out to an early 14-0 lead. Suburban Meyer rallies his guys, scores 7 before the half, gets the ball back at half, scores 7, ties it up at 14-14. But then, unfortunately, Coach Big Papa Jr. just pulls away. Pulls away, scores a touchdown. A lot of unforced errors. As you can see here, they had, let's see, 2 turnovers for Wyoming, 6 turnovers for Virginia Tech. You can't win many games when you turn the ball over 6 times. Coach Suburban was starting a new quarterback this week. He benched his freshman because he was underperforming. And, did not come out with the results that he had hoped. 6 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles. And you're not going to win many games like that. But let's take a look at some of the highlights from the game. Make sure we have this pulled up here. All right, first we're going to get into this. 2 minutes in the second. And it looks like Virginia Tech has the ball here. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Throws the ball to an out route. Amazing diving pick there. Amazing diving pick. Crazy play there. That was when they were driving 14-0, trying to get something going, and that hurt for sure. Well, let's take a look at the next clip from the game. We got it is now 7-14. Wyoming still in the lead. It's third quarter, 3 minutes left. Let's take a look. Hands the ball off out to the left here. Cuts inside. Cuts outside. Oh my gosh! All the way to the end zone. Huge play there. Huge play there. So they obviously tie the game up. They're feeling good at that point, feeling like they can do something with it. And let's see what happens. So now it is the third quarter, 2 minutes left, tie ball game. And let's see what the coach can do. Coach Big Papa Jr. Little curl route outside. Defender just completely misses the tackle. And then nasty spin move. That's one of my biggest touchdown. And that puts them up 21-14. Definitely, you could tell that hurt. The Coach Suburban there, not feeling great about that. So he's driving now. He's now down 24-14. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. Got to drive down the field. Got to get something big here. Let's watch what happens. Looks like he's looking for the corner route outside. Receiver cuts underneath. Just does not even make an attempt on the ball. It goes over the receiver's head. The defender catches it. Not sure what was going on with the receiver there. Did not even make an attempt on the ball. So, yeah, that's a tough one. Obviously, it was a closer game, but not the result that Coach Suburban was looking for. But Big Papa Jr. comes out and is still undefeated after the game, Coach Suburban Meyer went on a bit of a rant. It was kind of crazy. He had to be escorted out of the interview because he was getting very, very loud, saying things like, I don't think that Coach Big Papa Jr. is real. I don't think Coach Big Papa had passed away in Vegas. I think that Coach Big Papa Jr. is Big Papa, and all he did was shave his mustache. It's the same person. He plays the same. He has the same coaching tendencies, all that stuff. He just went on a crazy rant about how Big Papa Jr. isn't real and Big Papa isn't dead, never died in Vegas, faked his death to get out of creditors, get away from creditors. It was wild. You have to watch the clip on YouTube at some point, but that was blowing up on Twitter and X all over the place. So yeah, we'll see if Coach Suburban can bounce back after that breakdown that he had. But yeah, let's get into next week's games, or this week's games. We have Florida taking on Cincinnati. We'll see if Coach Sam or Coach Haywood can continue his dominance against a struggling Cincinnati team. We have Cal taking on Kansas. Coach Daniel, see if he can bounce back after a tough loss to Kansas State and get a victory over Kansas. Coach Joey played Arizona. I think they actually already played that game. Unfortunately, Coach Joey did lose that game in a close one. I think it was a one-score game, but he did end up losing that. Arizona continuing to play spoiler for a lot of teams that are not taking them seriously. Wisconsin taking on Utah. We'll see if Coach Eric has his legal issues straightened away before that game. See if he can come out and get a win there. Coach Big Papa Jr. Took on Oklahoma State. That game actually just happened. It was a closer game than a lot of people might have expected. Oklahoma State coming in without a win and putting it to Wyoming, keeping it really close. Wyoming gets a one-score victory there. I don't remember what the exact final score was, but it was a closer game than a lot of people expected. Then we got Virginia Tech taking on Colorado. Shane Falco taking on Coach Suburban Meyer. Shane Falco is on top of the world right now. His freshman quarterback is killing it. Suburban Meyer is reeling after a loss to Wyoming. Drops all the way down to number 15 in the nation. Let's see if he can bounce out of the slump that he is in and get a victory there going into Colorado. And then we have UConn traveling to LSU. Coach Dusty traveling into Death Valley to face Coach Steven Sleeper. That is going to be one to watch for sure. And I think we just had a live update. Let me see if I can confirm this. I apologize. Again, we fired a lot of people. So I'm getting my updates personally without much of a help from a team. So I apologize for this, people. It looks like LSU is taking on UConn tonight at 9:30 p.m. So make sure you tune in to watch that one. If it is going to be live. I don't know if it's going to be live. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we can work something out. Maybe we convince one of them to actually stream the game. Who knows? We'll have to find out. So let's get into what the committee decided for the game of the week. Game of the week this week. Virginia Tech at Colorado. That should be a good one. It was just announced, as you can see at the bottom of the graphic there, that game is happening at 8 p.m. tonight. So we have a little bit of a doubleheader with two great games. Virginia Tech at Colorado first, and then UConn at LSU after. A lot of great football is going to be happening tonight. So make sure you have those games turned on. Make sure you're watching. Make sure you're chatting. And just enjoy the games. Let's move into the standings now. Coach Haywood still on top with a 3-0 conference record, but Coach Shane Falco is right there with him with a 2-0 conference record, along with Coach Rick Dalton and Coach Big Papa Jr., all undefeated in conference, all undefeated in regular rank. LSU with 1 loss, Kentucky with 2, Virginia Tech with 1. But yeah, a lot of switches up. There's a lot of things switching around in the standings right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see how that goes. That will obviously paint a clearer picture as we get later into the season. So let's take a look at the top 25 now. Big call outs here. Tulane bumped up to number 3 from number 5. Colorado, I believe, was number 6 or 7 last week, is now number 4 after their victory. And the big news here is that Coach Suburban Meyer fell all the way from number 5 to number 15, dropped 10 spots after that tough loss to an unranked Wyoming team. And then we have Coach Steven Sleeper at number 12. And then we have Coach Daniel still in there, barely at number 25, just holding on by a thread into the top 25. Now we're going to look at our players of the week last week. The national player of the week for the defense was actually Joey Quintana, 7 tackles, 4 sacks for Colorado. Big game for him. And then the offensive Big 12 player of the week, he was not the national player of the week, but the Big 12 player of the week, Khalil Ingram, seeing his name a lot, 5 receptions, 125, and 2 touchdowns. Heisman race is heating up as always, and with it looks like Caden Durham is dropping down a little bit. Didn't have the best game, so he is fallen down to the 4th spot. We'll see if anybody can. We'll see if Caden can come back and climb the charts, and we'll see if anybody else from the Big 12 can make an appearance on this list. So hopefully we can make that happen. We'd love to see somebody else from the Dynasty win the Heisman this year, because last year it's been won by a Dynasty member, Coach Joey, and Barry Brown won the last 2 years. So let's try to continue that tradition if we can. And we're going to look at the offense. UConn still on top because they played a shit ton of games, 2,652 yards. Colorado killing it. Tulane killing it. Let's take a look here at some of the other things. A big call out here, Coach Shane Falco averaging 57 points a game. I want to keep that in mind, that 57 does include an FCS school. So that is a big factor with how many points he's putting on the board. Also want to call out first downs. UConn and Tulane with over 100 first downs already early in the season, so they're doing great in that respect. And let's actually shout out who is doing the best rushing. So we have Florida with 809 rushing yards. So obviously Coach Sam is doing big things with the run there in Florida. See if he can continue that and make his way up this chart. Then for defense, we got Florida coming out and surpassing Wyoming with a great 781 total yards allowed. Wyoming falling to 899 after the game with Virginia Tech. But clearly they have a ton of turnovers, and we'll get into that right now. Wyoming turnover differential is just stupid. Just absolutely obnoxious. 17 plus 17 turnover differential. It helps a lot when you're playing bad teams, or not bad teams, but teams that turn the ball over a lot, like Virginia Tech with their quarterback situation. 4 more picks that they got last time, 2 more fumbles that they got. But yeah, 18 picks on the season, 21 takeaways is just ridiculous. Coach Big Papa Jr. is still doing big things, just like his dad was doing in the turnover differential department. And let's go ahead and look at finally the recruiting class, and still on top, Coach Rick Dalton doing big things in the recruiting class. Has a 4-star wide receiver, 4-star quarterback, I believe it's a quarterback, yeah. A 4-star left tackle and a 4-star center. So he's killing it already early into the recruiting season. But I know a lot of people have some big players they're looking to sign shortly. So we'll see how that switches things up. But yeah, that is it. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Remember the clips. If you want to send me clips, they do have to unfortunately be on Twitch. We cannot do the Xbox recording like we thought we could. So apologies for that, but make sure you send in those clips to me if you want. While you're streaming your game on Twitch, if you just want to start to write down what time the plays happen, like big play in the first quarter at 2 minutes and 7 seconds, then I can go in and I can record those, or I can have somebody do it. One of my staff members I'm going to be hiring soon can do that for me. So if you just wanted to keep track of when big plays happen and just write down the times and send them over to the commissioner's office, then we will make sure that we get those added in for you. This week is going to advance on, what is it? Okay, it's going to advance it's going to advance Wednesday, Wednesday, February 19th at midnight, or when everybody readies up, whatever comes first. So try to get your games in. Good luck to anybody that has games. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. All that stuff means a ton. Appreciate you guys so much. And I hope you guys have a great day and an even better tomorrow. Thanks, guys.